okay? Now, let's talk about essay writing, okay? You would have seen these before. They are the 4 assessment criteria that VCAA use for your SACs, okay? So in this case, the SAC here is the analytic text response, okay? Number 1 here is you must know the text, okay? Anyone who tells you, I didn't read it and I got an A+, no, don't believe you. No. I thoroughly disagree, okay? You need to know your text and know it well. So have a read of it once. Don't just read it once. I always say a text should be annotated, okay? So my poor old text is very dog-eared. It's written all over. It's got different coloured post-it notes for different themes, all sorts of things, okay? You need to know the text. And have a look at this. Explicit and implied values. Explicit means you have to comprehend what is being written, what happened. Then you need to make inferences. Inferences are looking for the hints and interpreting those hints, okay? Not just what's written on the page, but what that means. What does it hint at? What does it infer, okay? So you need to do that. Okay, I keep trying to touch the screen thinking that it's a touch screen. It's not. Okay, you need to have a look at the features of a text. Okay, so understand a text is a construction. Okay, so this is about textual evidence. Okay, and this relies on you understanding the broad range of features of a text. Okay, they include things like, I wish I could change the colour of this. I think I can. Yay, green. Green, okay. They include things like genre, style, they include structure, they include narration. This is third-person narration, okay. They include characterisation, setting, they include literary techniques, etc. So there's so many things you need to consider there, okay? The third criteria is language use, okay? And you would have talked about that with Anthony today. Your use of language is really important. Now, I'm going to say it a million times, your vocabulary needs to be broad. One way in which you can broaden your vocabulary is read for pleasure, okay? Not everyone does that. I totally understand. So if you don't broadly read for pleasure, that means read stuff that you don't have to read, that you want to read. I'm going to suggest a very pragmatic solution. Pragmatic means practical. Practical solution are word banks. Okay, and so what you're getting at the moment in the Unit 3 lectures is you're getting word banks, and you're getting a word bank that's related to the form of task. So there's one for analytic text responses, there's one for comparative, there's one for analysing argument. You need to have one for the form of assessment. So there is words and phrases that you use when you're writing an analytic text response. So this is analytic text response. And 2, the language of the text. Okay? So the language, you're going to be using, Austenate or Austen-like language here, okay? You're going to have to use some of the terms that she uses to demonstrate that you understand that. So thinking about that glossary I showed you before, thinking about those word banks that are evident in the lectures that are going on at the moment. If you're not sure, come along to some of the masterclasses and have a look at what this might mean. I suggest at this stage, you're entering Year 12 or you're doing Unit 3 and 4, you might be in Year 11. that you need to be as strategic and practical as you can be to up this, okay? Now, it's not just about the VCE English, okay? It's not at all. It's about becoming an articulate writer, someone who can actually express themselves. And when your writing gets better, so too does your speech, okay? So this is something that you actually carry with you throughout your life, okay? And finally, you need to be able to do the structure, the grammar. Okay, so this is about the cohesion of your argument. Okay, that kind of stuff's really important. And so can I ask you to all nominate, what's one thing from these four that you think, oh, that's something I really need to work on? What's something you need to work on? Let's have a look. I dare you to write something in the chat function to show me that you are still with me. What's something that you'd like to work on? Yep, language, I get it. And that's a really common focus, and it's a really good one. Why? You can see gains in it. This is the sort of thing that's gained. It's not just about language though, it's about analytic thinking and writing, okay? Everyone goes, oh, let's talk about essay structure. Yes, structure is important, without doubt, but so too is using the language to analyse, okay? So this is something that you can actually target. So too, Andrew, your knowledge of the text, you can target it. You can target it. I'm going like this, but I mean to go like this. So this is reading broadly about the novel as well as reading the novel. So become a voracious reader of different study guides. Your teacher will have a range of them. Some of them you'll love, some of them you won't love, okay? Become an accessor of all of the TSFX online free resources. You know, Freebie Friday, you get freebies every Friday. We've got a whole range of sample essays that you can use. I'm not suggesting you copy them, but you borrow the things in the language and the knowledge of the text that you see that you think could really help you, okay? So they're really good aims. My next suggestion to you is, what is your strategy? You're going to hate me saying this because it's so school. What is your SMART goal to be able to do this? Okay, it's one thing to say, I'm going to work on my language. My question is how? Okay, so there's a few things that you can do to work on your language. Word banks are one of them. Reading all of the study guides and having a broad knowledge of the text is another. Okay, so too is practice writing. And your practice writing doesn't have to be whole essays. At this point, it can focus on events or it can focus on characters because we're at that entry level of the text, okay? Later on, you expand to themes, okay? Then you have a look at a broader range of ideas that are related to an essay, okay? I'm hoping it makes sense and I'm not just harping on. I don't want to be the person who's harping on. Now, there are three types of essay questions. I'm sure that you know this already. Propositional, quotation, and direct question. The easiest way to talk about the difference between these is to have a look at some essay questions.